The MTB Foundation are well known for its metal detecting tours throughout South Africa, as well as their hunts for coins and excavation trips throughout the country. But behind the scenes, we've been working very hard to produce a complete numismatic pocket guide on South African coinage, which we hope to launch in May 2014. So most of the job has been done, we're ready to go to print, and we would like to share our experience during this journey with you.
The book idea was generated purely because I became frustrated with the amount of information that was currently out there. It seemed to be people were writing about a specific time period and a specific series of coins, but they had compiled a lot of the information, but it wasn't friendly enough. And looking through other coin books that were, in Australia, America, Great Britain, and they had some really great classical things. And a lot of the people don't know much about South African coins. So I sort of focused the book understanding with an international view.
Being involved with your partner that's into coin collecting, it takes some getting used to. You're either going to adapt or you're going to have to die, or maybe both.
The actual coin collecting and all that as I was typing, so it was a new subject for me, which was great, and I'm also honored to be able to read the first time the manuscript as I was typing. And yeah, the other thing is going out with the digs with the guys. I loved it, and when I came back I understood a lot more when I typed the book, and I could see also more of what it all entailed.
Over the years that I started collecting, and that one of the big aspects for a collector is the source material, where you work out, you can see information about coins, sizes, weights, especially involving pattern coins. There's so little written about pattern coins that I started looking around to see what we had locally. And I found a couple of reference books and that, but it still didn't provide me the detail that we wanted. And most of the catalogs that were written were pretty old, outdated, and they didn't really give you a comprehensive understanding of what the pattern coin was about, where did it come. There wasn't really great mintage, actual establishments of how many were minted. So this sort of prompted me in the line of doing more further research into the National Archives to see if we couldn't find more information about especially the South African patterns. And I'm talking about the Tsar period, South Afrikaanse Republic period. And for what we found there was a lot of information that was never written. It hasn't been published yet. So with me having a great collection, I was able to marry sort of a lot of the information and then reprint or re-establish that information that was perhaps incorrect or erroneously written, and formulate it into something that was of quite a great interest for all numismatics.
When I first started off with the concept of bringing out a book as such, it sounded all easy in the beginning, like you thought, oh well, we're just going to do a few tables, you're just going to put one or two pictures in, and you're just going to do... And all of a sudden when you start investigating it and studying it and going into great depth, you discover it's not just a matter of just quickly photographing a coin or just quickly putting the table in. It involves other people, and we've got our editor and journalist, our typist that has to help, so there's a lot of other aspects that come into just making up the book. And then of course what leads to, from one thing to the other, you start discovering, well, it's not just coins, then it's the medals or it's the banknotes, and so it just grows and gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And of course it takes a lot more time, a lot more research has to be done, and you want to put the most accurate information as you can capture into a book. At the end of the day, you want your professionals to purchase your book and to, more importantly, that it can serve a purpose and to become a collector's item at the end of the day.
So, the book. Why should people buy the book? I think for me, one of the key aspects is because the book is written by a collector. I have no company that sells coins. I don't deal in buy and sell. I collect coins, and I think that gives it that authenticity that people are looking for.
When Morgan approached me with the book, when we decided to go for it, I was a bit hesitant and reluctant to immediately go for it because it reminded me of what my writing mentor used to say to me. He said to me before I wrote my first book on South Africa's Secret Service, write what you know about. So once I was convinced I would be able to do it and that I knew something about it, I decided, okay, I'll do it. And it was a huge challenge.
The MTB Foundation will be doing a token book, and we've got some other books planned out so that there will always be a book coming out by the MTB Foundation every year. We'd like people to think that it's also a collectible book. So the book idea actually sort of clicked when I was busy out metal detecting in one of the local parks. It was a hot day. I was extremely thirsty. I'd worn a cap and I found a couple of interesting items, and you know, when I'm out in the park, a lot of people come up to me and ask me what am I doing, and we'll give them a fair explanation, and it usually transgresses over certain aspects that they've had a coin in their family, and we have a bit of a discussion that, and most people that come up to you are usually friendly and etc. This one event, I was out in a local park, and sort of a middle-aged gentleman approached me and asked me, you know, the normal question, what are you doing? And as a sort of to break the ice, I usually say I'm looking for the Kruger Millions. Apparently it was buried in this park. We had a bit of a chuckle over it, and it sort of things transgressed into a deeper conversation. And one of the questions that was asked by the gentleman was that, you know, have you ever thought of writing a book about it? And my reply was, oh, well, there's so much out there already, you know, and you know, I keep thinking of all the resources and time and that, and the gentleman still said to me that, you know, time stands still for nobody. So I took that to heart, and we had a bit further discussion, and I have a great Czar pattern coin collection, and he said, well, why don't you do a brochure over it so that you can record it all? So I said, oh, perhaps we should look at that. And then I contacted the gentleman, and from there it just grew from a brochure over a collection to actually a book, which I suppose it's migration, and you know, the book then leads you to another book, etc. Going back to the elderly gentleman that I met in the park, we built up a great relationship, and we you know, over a period of a couple of days and weeks, we sort of got more involved with formulating a book. And Rion, gentleman's name, I found out later, is an avid journalist who's published a couple of books already, and he's a known photographer, and which sort of gave me the right package to hire him as the editor. He comes with a lot of knowledge and understanding of how to formulate things, and you know, with him at the forefront of developing the book and the layout, and sort of keep steering the team together.
My research into the coins and the books also led me to other historical facts that led to something which Morgan also loves and enjoys is to do metal detecting for relics and coins. So I've researched on several sites, we've been on several digs, and it's been great fun and great pleasure. And it's the most amazing thing to discover a coin and to hold it in your hand and know it belonged to someone 200 years ago. So it's always nice when you work 8, 10, 12 hours a day on writing to get out and be in the field and just have a fun day doing what you like.